The Honolulu Japanese Chamber of Commerce began as a gathering place for Japanese businessmen and women. Today, the organization is very diverse in ethnicity, age, and background. Conrad Sasaki, founder of Conrad Enterprises, came on board in the 1980s by way of Lionel Tokioka, whose family has been actively involved in the chamber since the late 1940s.
He did spend a lot of time at the chamber. I can remember all of his friends from there, so obviously he was connected early on. Some of the guys that were our age, like Tyler Tokioka, and that's the connection there, yeah. Lino and Dad were really good friends. It was a lot of networking too, though. Dad knew a lot of people there. I think we have a lot of customers because they knew Dad at the chamber.
Conrad Enterprises was founded in 1965 with my grandfather, Conrad Sasaki, at the helm. The company was located in Kakaako in the earlier years, then in 1989 moved to Sand Island, our current location. Grandpa led the company through the mid-1990s, then passing on the reins to my dad, Glenn. My uncle Curtis, the youngest of the Sasaki siblings, is now president and was first hired by his dad when he was 15 years old.
I used to put my surfboard in Mom's car. We used to be down in Kakaako. I went to Roosevelt, Stevenson and Roosevelt, so I'd find a way somehow to get down there, grab my board, go to surf at Alamana Beach Park, and Mom would pick me up on the way home. And when I turned 15, Dad says the board stays at home. It's time to work. Back then, Dad folks worked really hard. That's how they did it. It's always built on a person-to-person relationship. People bought from Conrad Enterprises because they knew Dad or Alan or one of the sales reps.
Doing something for someone in the right way, and if the customer is happy, that's the only reason why. If they say, I need it tomorrow morning, I would go and deliver on my way home.
Conrad Tamotsu Sasaki was born on a plantation in Waialua in 1927. A rebel from the start, Grandpa was very enterprising and left high school before graduating to join the Army, a few years after the attack on Pearl Harbor. After Grandpa was honorably discharged from the military, he obtained his GED at McKinley High School, but opted not to go to college because he felt it was a waste of money. He started his own print shop in the basement of his first home in Kaimaki and married our grandma, Margaret Kawaguchi, while working at Office Appliance. Then went on to start Conrad Enterprises. Motorcycles, sports cars, deep-sea fishing, and flying airplanes were a part of Conrad Sasaki's flamboyant style. He played and worked hard to bring Conrad Enterprises to where it is today. Eventually, the age of computers would catch up with Grandpa, and Uncle Curtis was in charge of wiring up the company to keep up with the times.
Dad used to have this idea that since you have a computer, it makes things easier, right? But in reality, the computer gives you so much information, you got more stuff to do. He couldn't understand that.
Grandpa and Grandma worked at the company well into their mid-80s. Today, their children and grandchildren are carrying on the family business, which supplies office products, janitorial supplies, paper and plastic goods, and food service supplies. And I run the retail store, Paper, Pens, etc. by Conrad in Windward Mall.
Dad's a number guy. He's a money guy. So he used to tell me it takes you all your life to establish credit and one bad payment to lose it. So we always made sure that we paid everything on time, especially the bank.
Now that you see Curtis running the business, it's successful, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel very grateful, very. I always think, at least they're doing something for Dad, yeah.
So we would see him at work as a boss, and we would see him at home. But as a boss, I don't think he ever took advantage of any of his employees and would work hard alongside his employees.
I'm his son, so, if he'd come in my office and shake his finger in my face and tell me what to do and leave, right? But all of his friends tell me that my dad's the nicest guy out there. I guess, well, you never saw his finger, his index finger 2 inches from your eyeballs, right? But, I'm his son, I gotta take it, right?
Although times have changed, the fraternity and camaraderie of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce remain the same.
I'd like to say thank you very much for all they've done for Dad and for us. It's always been somewhere that you can depend on. I think it's the loyalty that Dad instilled in us. The younger generations really don't have that much loyalty. The older generations do. And I can see that in his dad and his friends and everything. Some of his friends, like Roy Murakami, he'll drill that chamber into us. But he always took care of us, when we were growing up.